Okay, we're starting off laying down, so come onto your back, spread yourself out. Take up a lot of space here on the floor. And start to allow yourself to kind of melt into a puddle and breathe deeply. In through your nose, out through your nose. And really start to slow down the breath, make it deeper. And cleaning your lungs out completely with each round. And continue to just rest here. Maybe tucking your shoulder blades under your rib cage really nicely so that the palms flip up. And your chest feels big and dome shaped. Breathe deeply into any extra space you feel in the front of your ribs, in the back of your ribs. Little spaces between each rib bone getting softer and more expansive. And partner that expansive feeling of the rib cage on the inhale with that really strong feeling in the belly on the exhale, wrapping all the belly muscles inward towards center. Support the low back. Inhale, expand. And exhale, wrap everything inward. Allow your body to soften even more with each breath. Notice particular places in your body that feel really strong and open. Notice the places that feel a little bit sticky and maybe tense. Notice the path of your breath. Cool in the nostrils, warm coming out. Keep your big breath. Okay, let's bring in some gentle movement. Bend your elbows into cactus arms here with the palm facing the ceiling and the shoulder blade tucked nicely under you. Should feel good. And then with your inhale, reach your hands away from your feet, dragging the backs of your hands on the floor. Make sure you keep a long neck, okay? Dropping your shoulders away from your ears as you reach your hands out. Okay, exhale here and pull the elbows down towards your ribs and then very close in, tiny cactus shape. Inhale, big cactus arms. Reach up overhead. Exhale, tiny cactus arms. Pull the elbows down and in. And let's take a few breaths moving like this, okay? Inhale, big cactus. Exhale, tiny cactus. Feel some nice opening feelings across your chest and your shoulders in the front, paired with a nice massage of the back of your rib cage, shoulder blades on the floor. Let's do 3 more times. Keep your arms skimming the floor. 2 more times. And last one, reach out nice and long through your arms, reach. And then start to reach your toes away from your hands too. Big breath here. Just enjoying a stretch like you just woke up and you're feeling great. And then we'll start to move a little bit from here, but first, root your belly button toward the ground. So think of pulling the belly button downward. Take a big breath in as you stretch your arms and legs. One more time. With your exhale, pull your knees in and bring your shins and your hands together. So hands grab your shins and keep exhaling as you pull your forehead and knees toward each other. Okay, so nice and smooth. Inhale, again, reach out long, grounding your belly button. Exhale, grab your shins, bring your forehead towards your knees. Okay, this could be a really tiny movement. You can even keep your knees bent. And you don't even have to bring your forehead super close to your knees. You can just make it a gentle curve in your spine. But let's take a few more just like this. Kind of waking up your abs, waking up your core. And that's going to help your low back release if there's any tension there. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Nice. Go ahead and let that go and drop your feet to the floor. Drop your head and shoulders back to the floor and your hands too. And get your shoulder blades, again, scooched underneath you. Big heart up and open to the ceiling. From here, let's play around with some bridges, okay? So in our bridge posture, it's super important that we keep the lower body nice and active. And what I like to do that is to activate, to imagine, okay? Imagine a book, a big, thick book. And you wanna put it between your knees. So put that imaginary book between your knees and hold it. And you've gotta pull your knees toward each other to keep it from falling. So there's some space between your knees and they're moving toward each other. So you feel the inside surface of each leg get strong inward. Feel your core engaged as well. So keep that book, and then with your inhale, peel your tailbone up to point it at the ceiling, and then lift one vertebra at a time as you bring those hips high as you like them to go. So just peel as much of your spine up as you like, making sure to look up at the ceiling. And then with your exhale, replace one vertebra at a time. Nice and slow. Now let's do that a few more times. Inhale, peel it up. Keep holding that big heavy thing between your knees, that big book. And exhale, roll it down. And let's do this a few more times, okay? Keep your lower body active, okay? And do your best to keep your chin away from your chest as you move. We need to keep some neutral space on the back of the neck as we roll the rest of the spine, okay? Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's do it one more time. Come on up and then hold up there at the top of your bridge. Here goes. Inhale, lift your bridge and hold, okay? I'll give you some options here. You can, of course, keep that nose pointed straight up and continue to press your hands into the floor underneath where your hips are. You can even interlace your fingers under you, okay? And then you can maybe scoot those shoulder blades underneath your rib cage and continue to resist the floor gently so that you lift your sternum up toward the ceiling. And that's a nice chest opener for you, nice shoulder opener. Okay, keep holding that big book between your knees. One more big breath here in your bridge pose, lifting your front body up. And see if you could snake slowly down on your exhale. Okay, releasing those hands, rolling one vertebra down at a time. All right, once you release your hips all the way to the floor, maybe take your feet a bit wide, take your arms out to the side, and take some windshield wipers. Okay, twisting out your lower body, your lower back. Okay, make your windshield wipers nice and big. You can take your feet really far away from each other. Okay, bring in some really nice movement into your hips here. So you can make it a really big movement or really gentle. But either way, you're going to feel the hips and the low back really warm up and feel more fluid over time. Okay, next time your knees point up, just pause there, okay? And bring the right knee in. You can interlace your fingers behind your right thigh or to the front of your shin. It's up to you. And just pull that knee and hug it in towards your chest. Nice breath here. All right, as you hug that right knee inward, notice how your right hip crease is feeling. How's that hip flexor feeling about this gentle stretch? Okay, so what you can do here, if you need to be really gentle with it, is you can just soften up on that right knee and move it away from you. However, if everything's feeling pretty good, you can start to resist your own hands. So your knee can press against your hands as your hands move the knee inward. And you'll find just a little resistance goes a long way and makes a big difference. Notice how the right hip feels, if you change anything. And then maybe over time, slowly move that right knee very close to the center of your chest, a little closer to the midline. Keep breathing here. Nice stretch for that right hip. Maybe one more big breath here. Just feeling any tension inside and outside that right hip, opening up. And then extend the right leg up to the ceiling. You can extend just as much as you'd like in the knee, okay? A little or a lot. And then of course your hands will need to be around the back of your thigh for this, but you'll just start to press that right heel up to the ceiling. So now you're opening up in the back of the leg, and you feel that the more you push out through the heel and pull the toes back towards you, the more you feel opening in the back of the leg. Additionally, the more you extend the knee, you open, and then the more you bend the knee, you give yourself some space. So you're going to move with those two variables. And then you're also going to increase that stretch perhaps by moving the knee towards your heart. So hold it right here and breathe. Keep your hips grounded. So same thing here. You can use the ankle and knee bend as well as the hip bend, all as variables in your hamstring stretch. And you can also start to resist your arms with your leg, like your leg wanted to get away from your arms. Okay, maybe you want to open up the side of the leg a little more. So keep your long right leg, keep your resistance as you pull the knee towards you, but take your knee a little over the midline. So pull it over to the left a little bit, but don't let the right hip leave the ground. Keep the right hip grounded. So it's just a tiny movement, maybe just an inch or two to the left with that right knee, and you feel the outside of the leg opening. So breathe here. Maybe resist yourself a little bit. You can bring in resistance. All right, one more breath here. Fantastic hamstring stretch, IT band stretch, outer hip stretch. All right, and then release the right leg. Allow it to just drape over the left. Just let it fall there. Okay, just like you just sat down to dinner and you're just crossing your legs. So you can single cross here at the knee. You can also choose to double cross at the shin, okay, if that's feeling good today. And then just drop your knees all the way to the left here. You can look over to the right, maybe cactus arms. And we'll breathe in this nice twist. Think of lifting your heart up and open with each inhale. And of squeezing your belly button and your belly muscles strong in toward the center. Strong belly on the exhales. Big chest on the inhales. Okay, maybe one more breath here in this really lovely twist. Okay, running all up and down your spine. Especially if you're looking over to the right, you can feel it in your neck too. Now let's bring the legs through center, but don't uncross them yet. Let's see what it feels like if we drop them to the right. So maybe scoot your hips a little bit to the left and then drop your knees to the right. We are going to look away from the knees, of course, over to the left. Let's take a little time breathing into the twist in this direction. Notice how it feels in your hips and your low back. Big chest on the inhales. Strong belly on the exhales. All right, allow yourself to come back through center here. Unwind your legs. Shake them out in the air, maybe some ankle circles. And we'll go ahead and do that on the other side. So from here, drop your feet, maybe a few windshield wipers just to shake it off. Okay, then next time your knees point up, pause there, and we'll bring the left knee in. You can grab behind the thigh, in front of the shin, whatever feels best, but start to draw that knee in toward your chest. And we'll take several breaths here. So close your eyes and just dive into how that left hip is feeling. Okay, remember to keep your shoulder blades grounding, like you're trying to lift your heart up towards your knee to meet it halfway, okay? Heart to knee. And then you'll start to maybe resist your grip, pushing your knee gently against your hands. Okay, less is more with this kind of idea of gentle activation. Maybe if the hip feels particularly open and everything feels great, you start to move the knee in towards center a little bit. Like you wanted to bring it to the very center of your chest and continue to lift your chest up towards your knee also. Nice breath here, really opening up that left hip. Okay, from here, take your time opening it up into that hamstring stretch. So you'll start to extend your heel toward the ceiling. And either you're going to bend the left knee a little bit or a lot. Okay, it's really up to you. So find out what you want here. Take a few moments and then gently moving that knee towards you. We'll take some time just breathing here. Okay, you want nice feeling of opening in the calf. Okay, nice feeling of opening in the hamstrings. And that heart is still moving towards your left knee. So you're still feeling that lifted feeling in your chest. Notice if the left side feels any different than the right. Chances are it does. Okay, maybe if you feel pretty good here, you start to experiment with opening the side of the left leg and the left hip. So grounding into that left hip, make sure it doesn't leave the floor. Start to move the left knee over to the right, just a bit. Sometimes 2 inches is just a whole world of difference. So breathe right there into the left IT band, outer hip, even the glute maybe. Okay, from here, release that knee and just let it drape over your right leg. Okay, so you can single cross at the knee, you can double cross at the shin, but we're gonna drop the legs to the right and look to the left and just melt into this lovely twist. Big inhales, big exhales. Puff your big chest up and open to the sky here. And use your strong belly to pull in towards your low back. Supporting it, protecting it. Allow this twist to wring out your whole back and torso. Okay, take your time bringing the legs through center, and let's just see how this feels on the other side first. So keep your legs crossed just like they are. Let's move the hips over to the right a bit, and then drop the knees to the left. And then look to the right. Hold it here and breathe. Close down your eyes, maybe lift your big, buoyant chest up toward the ceiling. One more breath here. And then let's bring it back into center. Untangle yourself. Lift your legs up, maybe circle the ankles out. Okay, from here, tuck your hands behind your knees. And let's just rock it up to a seat. Nice little seat. Drop your knees out to the right here. And we'll get into a little mermaid pose, get some side body movement, get the spine and the hips nice and balanced. So to do that, quite simple, you're just gonna grab your left foot and point it back, straight back behind the way you're facing. And line your right shin up in front of you so that your right shin is parallel to the direction that you're looking out to, okay? So when you look down at your legs, you'll see this nice little triangle shape. And I'm giving you a visual if that makes it easier. Okay, we can call this a mermaid shape. So really nice to get into the side body from here. Go ahead and drop your right hand to the right and lift your hips up off the floor, pressing into your knees. You can get that left arm up overhead, stretching out your whole left side. Okay, make sure to keep a long neck. And then bring it down on your exhale. This time the hips will stay down as we inhale the right arm up and over into a huge right side stretch. Then exhale to bring it down. So can we move like this and just flow side to side? Big breath in. Big exhale. Keep going side to side. Okay, close your eyes down. Don't worry about the pace that I'm going. Just follow your breath. Fit the movement inside your breath. Okay, invite all the length into each side of your spine, into your armpits, your rib cage, your low back. But the whole time you move, do your best to keep your neck nice and long and soft instead of crunched and hard. Maybe a few more, a couple more on each side. All right, and next time you land, just pause right there and ground your right hand over there on the right. We'll extend that left leg out to the left and drop the outer edge of your left foot. Okay, should feel nice in that ankle. It's a good ankle stretch. From here, we're just gonna press up off the floor into a supported side plank. So press into that right knee, come on up. And then once you're up, let's refine this right knee placement so that it's directly under your right knee, right hip. Okay, so you feel quite supported in your hips. So once we're here, friends, reach that left arm up, okay? Activate that left shoulder. So both shoulders are turned on. You're actively plugging the arm into your shoulder socket. And from there, we're gonna circle out the left hand, shoulder movement. Okay, let it feel really nice and do your best to isolate it. So don't move anything else on your chest or your neck if you can help it. Using 100% here of your shoulders range of motion that feels good. No pain. Now let's rewind this, but this time push out through the palm of your hand. So flexing the top of your hand. All right, next time you're reaching up, pause there with that left hand, and then just lift the left leg up into the air. Okay, it's pretty heavy, so just feel its weight for a moment. Pull the belly button into your spine and feel like you're actively plugging the leg into your torso. So get some core strength to help you out, okay? That core can always help out when we're lifting heavy things. So from here, remember that you can always drop the left leg and take a break if you get a cramp or if it's too much. But pointing through that toe, give some little circles in the leg. So the knee and the ankle are just along for the ride. The hip is doing everything. Breathe and circle and breathe. It's a little challenging, isn't it? That's okay. Let's reverse it. This time, push through the heel. Breathe and circle. Do your best to keep the toes always pointing forward so that the hip is slightly internally rotating. Okay, now here's a funky challenge for you. Pause the leg. Remember, you can drop it and take a break if you need to. But your challenge is to bend the knee, point the left toes at the back of your head and pause there. Keeping the left hip and shoulder stacked over the right is crucial here, and pulling your belly button in is too. Now, what if your left hand could reach for your left ankle? Pause. Remember to stack your hips and shoulders, belly button in. Okay, extra little spicy challenge here is to push your left foot back. Okay, but if you do that, think of your belly button trying to follow your foot so that your low back is safe, please. We'll take a few more breaths here, wherever you are. Just enjoying whatever challenge you've chosen. And then see if you could come out really slowly the way you came in, okay? Backing out slowly. Left foot back to the floor. Go ahead and drop your hips back the way you came in. Okay, lean back on your hands here and let's do some windshield wipers, just shaking it out. So nice opening up the side body, nice strengthening the side and back. Let's do the other side. Next time your knees drop to the left, pause there. I'll spin around, but we're in the same position. Just point your right toes back behind whatever direction you're facing. Point your right toes behind you and line up your left shin in front of you. So it's parallel with the front of your space. And it looks like this on the ground. Looks like a little triangle. Okay. So side bending, side opening, left hand on the floor, hips up, big breath into that right side. Remember to keep your long neck. And exhale to bring it down. Keep the hips down, other side, left hand lift. And exhale down. Okay, close your eyes, enjoy it, feels nice. Keep going. Find your own rhythm for you, just whatever pace your breath needs. Feel any tension between your ribs, around your collarbone, or your low back, just melting away here with each movement. Maybe one more time on each side. Okay, next time your hands come down, just pause there. Okay, leaning on your left hand, extend your right leg and drop the outer edge of that right foot to the floor. And we'll come up to a supported side plank. So push the floor down, come up on that left knee. Let's refine the left knee placement and put it under the left hip. Okay, take your time, get comfortable because you know we'll be here for a while, okay? So right arm is up on this side. We need active shoulders so that we can open up and really circulate the tissues in this right shoulder. So flex the fingers, active arm, and start to circle out the right hand. Okay, do your best to isolate the shoulder movement as much as you can. Should feel nice as you move through all of the pleasant range of motion in your shoulder. No pain. Let's rewind it. This time push through the palm, please, so you get a different flex in your arm and your wrist. Okay, and next time that right hand is reaching up, pause and lift the right leg and just feel it, okay? Use your core here to hold the leg up. So act like you're plugging that leg into your torso. Feel your belly move in towards your low back, okay? And remember, you can always rest it on the floor if you need to, But if you're along for the ride here, strengthen out through that right leg, plug it in, and start to circle the toe. Make circles with that big toe. So all this action is coming from your right hip, okay? It's so strong. You can do it. Keep breathing. Okay, let's reverse it. This time, let's push through the heel. Try to keep your toes pointing forward. Slightly internally rotating the hip. All right, you feel that work in the hip. Excellent. Now pause the leg, hold and breathe. You can stay here, you can drop the leg and take a break, or you could play around with bending that right knee, point the right toes at the back of your head. Now pause. Make sure you're stacking right shoulder and hip over left. That's crucial here. And you're also moving the belly button in towards your spine. I like to think of the belly button trying to follow the foot behind you, so your low back is safe. Okay, maybe right hand reaches for right foot. You can grab the ankle and push the foot back. However, follow it with the belly button. Belly button is always protecting you. So breathe here. Just whatever little balance challenge is working best. You can also just reach for the foot, and that's a nice challenge. All right, wherever you are here, one more big breath. And come out slowly, the way you came in, okay? Right leg extending, right foot down. And spiral yourself all the way back down to the seat that you just left. Okay, lean back on your hands. Let's take a few more windshield wipers with the legs. Hips should be feeling really nice. Low back feeling nice. Great work. Okay, from here, take your hands behind you, under your shoulders, so that your fingers point back at you and your palms are on the ground. And you could keep enough bend in your knees for your feet to touch the ground, okay? Just whatever makes sense there. And just drop to your elbows from here. So your elbows are underneath your shoulders, and you can fidget to make that so if you need to. But just start to push the ground with your elbows, like you wanted to drive both of them down into the earth. And notice the corresponding lift in your sternum. So you should already be feeling a pleasant stretch across the fronts of your shoulders. So just notice that and keep a nice tuck in your chin so that the back of your neck feels extra long. Okay, you can stay right here. Or you can add more of a back bend element to it if you choose. You can mix that in by keeping the press down of your elbows. Keep the lift in your heart. Keep the tuck in your chin, but think about pointing the back of your neck at the back of your space. Breathe here. So if you end up dropping your head, you should still be able to talk and breathe. So keep that in mind. Should keep the tuck, okay? Keep the press down in your elbows. Big space across your heart and your throat and your shoulder fronts. Maybe one more big breath here in your fish pose. Heart opening pose. And with your exhale, think of rolling your chin back and towards your chest. Move the elbows out away from each other so you can come on down to the ground. All right, once you're down, take your arms out back into cactus formation, out at the sides of your body, and just drop your knees to one side. Just pick one. Drop your knees, look away from them, and we'll take some breaths right here. Close your eyes, sealing your practice off with this recalibrating twist. Long, slow inhales that fill your chest here. Complete exhales to strengthen your belly. As you're ready, bring your knees through center and just drop them in the other direction and look away. Nice twist here. Long breath. Remember to dome your chest up away from the floor, finding spaciousness in your ribs. One more big breath here in your twist. Bring it back into center here and stretch out your legs. Stretch out your arms nice and long overhead too. Okay, taking just a moment here to relax in banana pose. Okay, kind of a fun variation of Shavasana. Take your legs out to the left. Just take them over there so that the side of your body is now curving. So, okay, right side of your body feels longer. Make sure the glutes are grounded, both of them. And then take your arms out to the left as well. Make sure that right shoulder blade is grounded. So you have this banana shape you just made with your body. And you can deepen it by walking the hands and feet out further to the left or bringing them in to make it more shallow, more gentle. And just breathe deeply into the right side as you make an extra effort to ground the right hip and shoulder. Okay, take your time. We're just going to bring it to the other side so you can slowly, with all the time in the world, walk your legs over to the right now. And walk your arms out to the right too. And breathe here. Long neck. Big breaths into the left rib cage, left side of your low back. And take your time coming back through center. And then let your hands drift down by your hips again. You can give your shoulder blades a little tuck underneath you. Chin a little tuck into your chest. That heart feels big and open. And then just let go here. Relax all of your body, all of your bones and your muscles into the earth. Let your breath run wild and free, just effortless breath, involuntary breath. Let your body melt into complete ease. Your fingers and toes, your jaw hangs open. Forehead is soft. The eyes sink way back in your head. And you can just be aware of every little thing happening right now. How does your breath feel right now? How does your body feel right now? What sounds do you hear right now? Please keep resting just like this for as long as you can. Okay, the longer the better. But this is where I'll leave you for our practice today. Thanks so much for joining me.